This is the side of real estate investing people don't normally see. This is how we do real estate investing out here. What's up? Don't worry, buddy. We'll move you to a new place. We'll move you to a new place, buddy. You'll have a new home. But I have these happy drugs that make me very happy. This is just ibuprofen.
I think it's a new strand. It's COVID-20.
It's COVID-20, yeah. COVID-20. But I spent my weekend pretty much on like laying down or in the hospital. And right now, I can't even hear out of this ear because this morning I went to the hospital and she took this it looked like the size of a Tic Tac. And she's like, I'm going to put this in your ear and then it's going to expand. And I'm like, wait a second.
Whoa,
how far is this? She's like, oh no, it just goes on the the inside. I'm like, all right, whatever, just do it. So she sticks it in there. Then she adds these antibacterial drops and then it expands. And now I can't hear anything over here. I can hear your ear. That's great. Oh man, but at least I'm working on it. But let me tell you, these tablets, they're a lifesaver. I had to go buy another. What is it? A 20 stack? Yeah, I had to buy another 20 stack of these today. And the doctor was like, oh yeah, you can take 2 at one time. I'm like, one of them sends me flying, but 2. That's like a joyride.
You be bouncing all. You may get all kinds of stuff
accomplished. I know. But anyway, that was my thing. I have 3 or 5 more days of this stuff going on. How about you? How was your weekend?
It's good. Did a quick trip to the beach. Basically, I was talking to actually Adam earlier today.
Oh yeah.
About something, and I told her, I said, basically, I look back, I basically went down there to eat dinner with friends and family. Like, that was the biggest thing I did.
Right.
Because we didn't get there till late Friday evening and then came home Sunday. But got to see some people. My sister and her husband were down, too. So.
Oh, that's good, though. But I've driven, let me tell you something. I've driven down to Florida before just to visit my family for a weekend, which was a bad decision in life. Personally, for me. I didn't make it.
I don't mind driving. The driving doesn't bother me. My
wife
doesn't like it.
Have you driven down to Florida from Charlotte before?
Yeah.
Oh, you made it in one shot?
My wife wants to do it.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Driven from here to Orlando.
It's like
this
6.
Is far.
Isn't it 6 hours?
6,
7.
More
8?
like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I couldn't make it. I actually parked. I think I was at 6.5 or 7 hours. I literally parked on some. I was just hitting Orlando, and I was going to Ocala County there, and I just hit that area, and I literally pulled over on some church parking lot, and I just fell asleep until the morning. I couldn't even make it to their place because I was so tired. I was like, "This is crazy. Why'd I do this?" It wasn't worth it. I should have just took a plane. But I was like, let me give it
just as cheap.
Yeah, right? I was just like, give it a shot. Hey, speaking of Adam, let's talk about successes, our remote real estate investing successes we got here. So let's kick it off with Adam. Why don't you go there first, and then I'll talk about Sarah.
So I talked to Adam on some stuff today, and he did get his bike ride in. It was kind of abbreviated, but
awesome.
He has his closing is set. He's got a closing set, good to go tomorrow. He said that as of noon today, everything was set to go. So
that's awesome.
That's really big for him. He's super, super excited, and I'm very happy for him as well.
Yeah, that is good stuff. And let me just do a round of applause here. Yeah, we got that going on. You can hear that later, Mike.
Yeah.
Also, but he also has a few other deals in the pipeline. And there was one that fell through the cracks, and then it's getting thrown back, and then that he's got a few other ones in the burner, right?
Yeah, well, he's got that one he's getting really creative with because the attorney is kind of being a little weird, the realtor's being a little weird, but Adam is a he's a go-getter, and he's persistent, and he's not just thrown in the towel on it.
Yeah,
he's thinking outside the box of avenues, and we talked about even some other options on it today. So I'm confident that he'll figure that one out and get it closed the best way it needs to be.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. That's some great news. for sure. I'm really excited for him. To transition to that, over to Donald. Donald also he surprised me with a closing last week. I don't know if you remember that from the call.
Snuck up on you.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, by the way, closed one," and unfortunately, I hope he's feeling well. I got to give him a call because I know he's not. He went to the hospital or a clinic?
I think the hospital,
something like that. Yeah. Me and him,
because we had an appointment at 9 o'clock. So he texted me late last night.
Yeah.
Said, "Hey, I'm gonna be able to make the appointment." Yada yada. I said, "Really? Don't worry about the appointment.
Just make sure you're all right." Yeah, me and him are hospital buddies now. I'll give him a ring. But I know he had he's got a few closes in the pipeline, which is great, and that surprise closing from last week, and another one. I believe it's coming next week, which is on my calendar, which is not open at the moment. And then Sarah just in the group today. Did you see that? She was just like, yeehaw.
She is on it. She is full of energy. And I mean, it's amazing. If you go back 6 months where she was and where she is today, it is completely and totally amazing.
That's so true. Yeah, I'm really happy and excited for her. She's definitely a go-getter. What I have to say I love most, though, about hearing her updates is how she's been spending more time with her family. That's something she's really set aside to do on, Fridays, I think it was, is her her new designated day where she said, okay, you know what? Yeah, the weekend's the weekend, but I'm now going to take Friday off. And she's basically living that 4-day work week life. Not the 4-hour work week, but she's living that 4-day work week life. But she's really enjoying it, and I think that's really cool. And I think that, again, that's just the beauty. What we talk about so often is the beauty of real estate investing, and what it can give us is that freedom to choose, the freedom to do what we want, when we want, with who we want. And although in the beginning it's not always easy for everybody, but it takes work, it takes time, and if you keep working at it and you don't give up at it, as we mentioned earlier, if you don't give up at it, you will get this and you will make it happen. And that's definitely some great examples that we have happening in our group. Am I missing anyone? I'm sure I am. I know that we got other updates from our other members in the group, but I at least wanted to cover a few today. And Mike, I'm just staring at this property. I can't take my eyes off this property, and it's kind of like the topic of the show. By the way, if you guys are new here, welcome to the show. It's Mike Mackenzie and Nathan Amaral. So glad you're here, and this is the No Fear Investing Show. And today's topic is specifically about some fear that Mike wanted. He wrote me this private message, right? He's like, I got to tell you about this little itty bitty fear that I had, and it became a big lost opportunity, and it's been staring at me in the face all day ever since you sent it to me. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, wow, what a great opportunity. So let's go over it. Mike, where should we start with this one from the beginning? Give us the backstory about this property or this lost opportunity.
Yeah, so my family got some condo units in this one complex, and we beside it is a private neighborhood. And there's obviously some oceanfront homes and stuff out there. And there's one that was built in 1993. I literally remember when it was built. It was a.
Should I show the pictures now?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me do that. All right, go ahead. I got it.
So it's an ultra modern house, and the cool thing about it is that. I mean, you went and looked at it, and it had carpet on the walls. Everything's right. Just really weird.
Carpet on the walls.
It changed, and like the picture you're showing. I mean, that is literally your view.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so awesome. I mean, I could sit out there and when it was in the foreclosure, whatever, in between owners, I literally would go out there and. Just sit there. Wait. You
were sitting on the house deck because it was under foreclosure?
Yeah, nobody lived there. So.
That's awesome. I love it. Wow.
So, long story short, it's a big house, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, about 6,100 square feet, but it fell in disrepair. And they tried to sell it. At one point, it sold at $2.5 million, like
Wow.
I don't know, early 2000s. Anyway, it fell in disrepair a little bit. I mean, you look at the pictures inside; they're not really that bad. I mean, it doesn't. It just needed updating.
Yeah.
But when you take on $6,000 on $1 million or 6,000 square feet in $1 million home, you know your standard Lowe's features don't they don't work.
Right.
So that kind of scared me. So long story short, I looked at numbers. My numbers were a little bit off. I did go back and look at my numbers more. So it sat on the market, Nathan, over 900 days. And I think I looked at in 2016. It finally sold in 2018 for $1.4 million.
Wow.
And it sold to an owner occupant. And now when I go back to the beach, I'm going by the house and we'll knock on the door and talk to the guy because he's living in it, but he's rehabbing it. He's actually put a guest house on it.
Oh, wow.
I don't really like
Wow, this bathroom looks, I have to say, hold on, this bathroom. Wow. Wait. So this is after he renovated it, or this was as the way it is?
As the way it is.
Wow, that bathroom is like, there is some parts of the other house I'm not too fond of. The kitchen looks kind of weird and dated.
Yeah, it's weird. And it's too specific.
Yeah, and carpets on the floors. Like, I'm not a carpet guy. I hate carpets personally, but I love the style of this bathroom. I think it's because it's so squared off, and I love the shower. Maybe I changed the shower head and stuff like that. But a little bit of old recessed lighting, nothing new LEDs would it make that thing like splendid. Okay, and one other thing I would do is I would drop that windows off, those 4 windows. I would just punch it open and all the way down to the let's call it jacuzzi, okay, the tub line. Yeah. And I would have just made that all windows. I mean, anyway, that's just me talking out loud, but go ahead.
Yeah, so you know, when I looked at it, you know, I was thinking, man, I'd like to do this house. I got some really good ideas. And I was thinking, yeah, Mike, you're going to have to dump probably $300,000 in it to do it the way it needs to.
I want to take a guess at the year build. 1982, 85? 80s?
93, believe it or
93.
Not. It was a custom build. This guy, I mean, look at the master bedroom. The bed sits on a platform.
Yeah,
it's a little freaky out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kitchen is horrible in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I like modernistic. I like the modern design of the house. So the bones were relatively good. So I said, well, you know, $300,000, $400 maybe, probably $300 to fix it the way I needed to. And long story short, it probably even in 2017, I could have gotten at a minimum $2.5 million easily. Yeah, probably a little bit more. Today's market over $3 million. There's a house that sits 2 rows back that's not as nice as this one could or will be. It's selling for $2.2 million. Wow. So I don't know. He's probably at $3.5 million probably for this house. Yeah. But it scared me, Nathan. Yeah. It literally, it's like, that's a lot of money. You know, I got to get creative on how to do this. And you know, what if it goes down wrong? All those things came in my house or came in my head. Yeah. And ultimately, it scared me away from the deal. It's like, and in 2016, you know, I learn things every year. Yeah. I look back and I try to look at it objectively. I could have done it. Yeah. I would have gotten over the fear of the money. You know, money's there. You just got to find it. Right. You know, we know some folks that can really find a lot of money real easy. But, yeah. You know, and when I sent that message to you the other day, it was me. I was literally sitting on the beach looking at this house. Anytime I go down, I have to look at this house. Oh, man. Oh my gosh! And that actually stings the most. It is. Now I did notice this last time that he did have to put in a seawall. That's a bigger expense. I didn't figure, but I figure conservatively, even if I would have put it on the market in 2017, 2018, I probably cost myself probably close to $500,000 profit. Wow. So it's just, but But again, and that's the cool thing about this trip. So I was talking to another investor earlier today. I was telling him what we were talking about. He said, "Man, you're going to like open yourself up to that." Yeah, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
My hope is if somebody else runs across something like that they may learn that, go for it, figure out, partner with somebody, do something on it. But if the house was located somewhere where I never saw it again, it'd be different.
Yeah. But another thing too, I'm wondering if this area, since where it's at, this could have easily been one of those like a rental, right? A short-term rental.
Not in that neighborhood. They're all private homes.
Oh, they're all private homes.
Either first home or second home.
Okay.
It's a very unique neighborhood. But no, they won't do the short-term rentals on them.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I was going to say, because a house that size, I mean, basically, what am I looking at here? 4 beds, 4 baths. I mean, that could be a good guest house for a bunch of, a family or two.
Oh, yeah. And the guy, it's really cool, is actually set up and put on a guest house kind of to the side of it, which I really want to see. I'm assuming it's a guest house. I don't know what he's doing with it. But, it was an opportunity to have went, and I looked really close into it. And, hindsight, I should have done it. I should have pulled the trigger, done it. It would have been a great and awesome project.
Yeah.
And, but I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Over 6,000 square feet.
Yeah. It's truly a cool and unique house. It's wild. It's nice.
Yeah, but what if, another thing too, to consider now that I know you go down to, let me ask you this. I know you go down to Myrtle, to the South Carolina quite a bit, but would you consider more going to South Carolina or Florida now? I know we have your new spot down there, but just out of curiosity, which one do you like more? Was it Miami or South Carolina?
It's funny you should ask that, but my wife and I actually had to talk about, literally this weekend about, we came back from Florida. I said, I enjoyed our trip to Florida, but I feel more relaxed at our place to beach in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a second home. It's home. I'm just more relaxed. I know everything around it. I know people that are down there full time, half time, whatever. So I think that had a lot to do with it. So it still has a special place. So it would be. And
you have a lot of friends down there, right? I'm always hearing you say you got like friends, cookouts, and you always got neighbors that you've known for years in that area.
And then in July there's 2 weeks that we're down there, and we have probably 50 friends, and all we do is every day on the beach and whatever.
Wow. Whatever.
It's a long 2 weeks.
Recreational activities.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Frisbee. That's awesome.
So, but I mean, it's. I always criticize. I had a house. But another quick story on house flipping. I know we're kind of stuck on houses here, but I had a buddy of mine that begged me Thursday to go look at a house near us that was going up for auction on Saturday.
Oh, really?
I was like, dude, you ain't been in this house. I said, well, I know we think it's a 20. He says, I think it can sell for $400,000. Well, I did the numbers. No, it's going to sell for $325. You sure? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
Take your emotion out of it. He's not in real estate.
Oh.
So he's eating up emotion. So I said, you got to take the emotion out of it. But long story short, I forgot that we were supposed to go to the auction Saturday, and I'm at the beach. He calls me, so I'll be at your house in 15 minutes. I said, about that.
Oh, no.
So he went, and long story short, I wanted to cap it at 175. He said 200. It sold for 205.
Oh,
so
wow.
We could have done it, but I didn't want to do it. He doesn't when you're talking to somebody that's not in the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. He's like, well, we could do this, and this. Listen, dude, I don't like doing the manual part of it. That's why I do what I do. I said, we let's put a crew in there and flip it.
Yeah.
Let's flip it.
Right.
But the time's really weird. We got holidays coming up. We got election coming up.
The election itself, right now, especially if he's a newbie, like the election right now is not something to like make quick decisions on property. Like, if hypothetically, if Trump wins the election, that's not what the polls are saying, but I don't go by polls anyway.
I've never had a pollster call me, so
exactly. If Trump wins the election, I could say, hey, you know what? Everything's going to go up even more. Yep. That's what I know, what I've seen, and that's where the economy's going. I do have a question for you, though. Now, if it goes the other way around, if Biden and Harris gets in, then I don't see that going up. I see a reversal happen, definitely a dip in the market. I think people are going to get scared. Investors will get scared. They'll contract. They know the taxes are coming. Look out, right? So there's going to be a lot of fear in the marketplace. You don't want to be stuck with a property that you've overpaid for in that kind of environment. So
bring up a good topic, though. You know, what if this thing takes a turn? What's this going to do for real estate? Listen, we've all lived through the worst of the worst in real estate. It's not going to be that.
Right.
I mean, real estate, if you look at history, there's dip. I mean, everything can't be a roller coaster ride on the top.
Right. Exactly.
You got to have some dips in there.
True.
But I don't fear it.
Right.
I fear the new taxes.
Right. Yeah, no, it's so true. Well, you bring up a good point about the dip, right? And that's where money is created. That's where wealth is created. Absolutely. I had a little conversation this morning. You know, I'm a big Apple fan. If I own any stocks, people will say, Nathan, you invest in stocks. I thought you invest in real estate. I like to play a little bit with stocks. I have for years. Actually, not many people know this about me, but the first seminar before I even got into real estate was called Invest-A-Trade or something like that. Invest Tools. There it is. Invest Tools. I learned stock trading before I got into real estate. Lost a bunch of money with my previous brother-in-law, and it didn't go anywhere. But I've always played around with it. And I was telling my buddy the other day, I said, you know, when there's a red day, when things are going down and everything is on sale, that's when you buy. You buy it when it's cheap, right? So it's tough, though. It's such an emotional game, and most people don't realize that stocks is even more emotional than real estate. With stocks, you have to time it just right. With real estate, you just have to be patient and wait for the long run. So when the things go down and there's a correction, that's a great time to go shopping. So right now, it's a little tricky, though, if you're on the buy and you think it's going to go up, and all of a sudden it changes because of an election. Now you just lost, and you don't want to buy at that time. So that's why it's kind of better to wait right now to see what happens after this election, and that will take place. Now, I have a question for you, okay? Because I have, and people think I'm crazy, but that's okay. They didn't think Andrew Yang was crazy. Hold on. What do you think about? Well, he calls it the Freedom Dividend Fund, okay? It's just Universal Base Income, which is UBI. And what that means is every citizen in the United States would get a set amount of dollars. It could be $1,000 a month. It could be $500 a month. But they get it automatically no matter what. What do you think about that?
I hate it. It's socialism. If I want to live in a socialist country, I go live in one. Here's my thing.
Okay.
Why not? It's the same thing. You want to tax the top 10% at some astronomical rate. Mm-hmm. I'm not in the top 10, so I'm not preaching this for me.
Sure.
But here's my thing. Just because somebody's successful, don't penalize them for being successful.
I agree.
Just like you don't penalize the person sitting on the couch who wants to collect a check.
Right.
They should be penalized. Get off your butt. Go, do what you got to do. Listen, I'm sure you've done it. I've done. I've had jobs throughout my life in different areas that I didn't really like, maybe. Mm-hmm. But you know what? At the time and where I was, that's what I needed to do.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. I'm a fan in getting out there and creating opportunity for yourself.
I'm gonna give you a different perspective, and you don't have just hear it out and see what you think, okay? Because my not a belief, it's my prediction, it's my my prophecy. No, but my prediction, okay, for the future is we are going more robotics than ever before. I think most people don't even understand who are in the workforce who have their jobs, their 15-hour hourly rate jobs are going to be replaced in faster than they think it's going to happen. Like faster. White Castle, and I'm breaking this down to the basics, Mike. White Castle food chain have now implemented robots and putting their hamburgers together. Okay. That's already bought, purchased, moving forward. We got Tesla, who does mostly everything robotics. We have Amazon, who's using robotics for everything. So here's not an idea. Here's where I like to say UBI is a good reason. Now imagine, the most two expensive things in business is wages and taxes, right? Two big things. But if you have some of the biggest companies, let's just say Tesla and Amazon, just for them right now. And if Tesla or Amazon is literally cutting jobs like across the board, they're not using pickers to pick up products. They're using robots. Tesla is using robots to put cars together, almost completely start to finish. And now there's less jobs. The way I see it is if those people, instead of paying all those wages like they would have, they pay more in tax. Now, listen, I'm not saying tax all the small business. I'm saying tax more of the bigger companies that would be hiring 50,000 people, 30,000 people, but now they're not because they have these robots. They should be getting taxed a little bit more. There's got to be a threshold because I think for a period of time, either two things have to happen. Either there's got to be some form of income for people, or there's got to be a wave of manufacturing coming to the United States, like a big wave. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of people without a job. Literally 2020, this has been the year that the federal government, California's done it, Arizona's done it, Texas has done it. Federally, all cars now are able to be driven autonomously. It's federally granted now. So what does that mean? We could actually have Uber autonomous cars driving instead of Uber drivers.
They have that in Phoenix.
They have it in Phoenix. We have Waymo. This is happening at a rapid scale. So in just my perspective, yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts, but something's got to happen. Either there's got to be a brand new wave of jobs, like on another level without robots, or I think there's going to be a lot of, don't get me wrong, I think President Trump has been doing a good job with bringing jobs back to the United States. Okay. But there's going to be another wave this year and the next 3 to 5 years where there's going to be a whole mess of robots. And I think people are going to have to do one of two things. Either they have to go back to school and get educated in a new field, or they need something, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. That's what I think. What do you think?
I still have to disagree with you. I don't like
You don't like it.
And I go back and I base it on history.
Sure.
And looking at a lot of the countries that tried to implement that.
Yeah.
And of course there's stories, there's different things to each story.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of success stories.
Right.
In the long run.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like, that's why I'm thinking maybe it's a period of time. And I just don't know, because I think I say, okay, that will be helpful because people have to do something. Otherwise, we're going to have massive unemployment. It's just going to be.
But here's the problem we have now, Nathan. We have the government in like in North Carolina, you can make, depending on what you make, you can make $1,000 a week sitting on your couch, not going back to work. Unemployment.
Oh,
so tell me this.
That's not good.
Let's say if I'm making $40,000 a year,
right?
Unemployment. My job was $30,000 a year, and I worked my ass off for that.
Right.
Why in the world would I get off the couch?
Right.
And go back? And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Is they can't find workers because they've got to a company or too comfortable with the government, and this little check is going to run out real quick for people.
I agree with you.
That's the one thing I like about real estate. I mean, real estate, we talk about ups and downs, and land investing in particular, we get 6-month contracts on properties.
Exactly.
So it allows us to ride out some of the dips.
That's so true.
In those properties.
I think another advantage to land, though, Mike, sorry for hogging the mic here, but I think an advantage to land is more and more people than ever, because now people are not, millennials are maybe not flocking to the city to be working at the major company anymore, being in the sky rise. I think we're going to see a shift in the way people work and where they live. So I don't think we're going to see so much crowded streets in big cities. I think it's now going to be outside of those cities. It's going to be they live in suburbia and external suburbia. Right, even beyond that, more rural. People can now live more rurally, and if they need to come into the city, co-working space, I really think, I know people think I'm crazy, but I think, and I said this before, but it's become more and more that co-working space and is going to be the next big thing, because more and more people, especially in the United States, are going from, hey, I worked for this big company to I started my own little business. So we're going to have a bunch more of little businesses popping up, right? It's going to be a bunch more solo entrepreneurs popping up everywhere. And a lot of more people doing remote work who can't stand to live at home and maybe raise kids, change diapers all day long. I'm speaking for myself, but it's true. I think it's tough. I think something has to happen. I just don't want to see more people in a bad situation of homelessness, or in a bad situation where they're like, I'd rather see innovation and entrepreneurship flourish, but there's going to be a period of time where people are not going to be able to feel, they're not going to feel that. They're going to be like, I got replaced. Truck drivers, just a bunch of people are going to be unemployed. Yeah.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. Listen, I was a fan of Yang Gang. Remember Andrew Yang, who was running, the Democrat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved him. I really did. I loved his platform. I like what he was talking about, because I think he was trying to, and he knows and understands the eastern part of the world, and he's like, guys, it's coming. Get ready. I think he was a little progressive in that way, but UBI in the United States is like, nope, not yet. We're not, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Sarah says, interesting conversation, and also says, driving as a profession employs more men than any other profession in the U.S. When they get that replaced with AI, we'll be looking at a sociological disaster on a massive scale. It's a big deal. It is. What Sarah's bringing up, Nikola, Tesla, and there's a few other ones, iTrucker or something like that. Trucks now are, this year, probably definitely next year, are going to be autonomous. Semis will be autonomous. And
I think we're that close in the U.S., though.
I think so. 5G makes it very possible. Now they can't. They're having a hard time. What is it?
It's a lot of money to implement, though. And the equipment and this stuff.
Yeah, I
think we're getting there. I don't think we're there that quick.
No, but I think here's the thing: when 5G is more implemented in the U.S., they're really behind. They're literally, like, I want to say 4 to 6 years behind in technology. And if 5G hits the U.S. faster, the autonomous stuff is instant. It's gonna happen like, okay, turn it on, let's go. And the truck drivers are really, anyway, man, this is just, it's a deep topic, but I think it's gonna happen faster than people realize. But it definitely makes for great conversation, and it definitely impacts real estate, because I think people more now than ever before are going to be living in suburban areas. Real estate is going to change a lot.
And, here's another interesting concept that maybe the rest of us or some areas of America get. you can actually have opposing conversations with one another, and it be civilized. And we haven't burned anything down.
Yeah.
We haven't destroyed anything, hurt anybody.
That's true.
It's all worked out just fine.
No protests. Let me throw this at the
It's a
screen.
whole new concept.
I know. Oh my goodness, man. You know, it's really unfortunate. Out of the however many years I've grew up in the U.S. and lived there, I can't believe how much protesting is going on, rioting, looting in the streets, and all that. It's just really sad to see, and unfortunate. It really is. Well, my drugs are starting to wear off. I can feel I can feel my whole side of my face just starting to pain up right now. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Mike, this has been good. It's been a good conversation.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, we've learned that we can't be afraid, no matter the past mistakes, the opportunities that we've missed, or
changes in government or whatever. You got to go with it. You got to always be adaptable to change.
Exactly. And I think that's important, is to be adaptable. I forgot who told me this. Be like a chameleon. You know, you got to be adaptable to the change, because if you're not, you're probably going to get left behind, more than likely, right? If you're too stubborn to change and make some changes, then you probably end up getting left behind. But let's not get left behind. Let's stay in the race. Let's stay in the race and keep it going. Mike, it's been fun. It's been good.
Absolutely.
All right.
It's feeling better.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I gotta go rest this side of my face up. All right, man. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
All right, see you, everybody.